Okay, let's do this. Hello, welcome to our daily success webinar. Man, great to see you guys on here today. What a good looking group. Anyway, even though I can't see you guys, I know you're a good looking group. Anyway, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us on this beautiful day. And I'm excited to share some more amazing stuff with you today. For those of you brand new, we do these webinars Monday through Friday at the same exact time, 12 o'clock Pacific, 1 o'clock Mountain, 2 o'clock Central, and 3 o'clock Eastern time. So try to be on as often as you can. I guarantee you're going to get a ton of information that will absolutely change your life. All right, let's get right into it. So as you guys know, we've been doing our goal setting masterclass over the past couple weeks. And yesterday we talked about imagination and visualization and how I believe this is the most powerful tool that you can use to radically reprogram your mind and shift your beliefs and attract and manifest and create the results that you want in your life. And there's obviously a lot of different tools and strategies that you can use to change your life and to create the results that you want. But again, I believe this is the most powerful. I believe that from my own experience, from the experiences I've seen in others, and also talking with other individuals like my coach, for example, who believes the same thing and has radically changed his life. But again, like with anything else, it requires consistent effort, right? I want to remind you guys of a great example of this is the NASA study that Jack Canfield talks about, where they took a group of astronauts and they had them wear these goggles that basically turned their vision upside down. So what they were seeing was flipped upside down. And after about right around the 26, 28 day mark, their brain had adjusted to a point that everything turned right side up. They were still wearing the same goggles. They wore these goggles 24/7 in the shower, to bed, everywhere. And after about 26, 28 days, their brains basically reprogrammed and turned everything right side up. And within 30 days, every single one of the astronauts had adjusted. Their brains had reprogrammed and they could see everything right side up. They did a second study where halfway through the 30 days, they had some of the astronauts take off their goggles for a day and then put them back on. And it still took them another 30 days. So at the end of that 30 days, the astronauts that kept their goggles on, their brains had reprogrammed and everything was right side up. The ones who took their goggles off halfway through the 30 days, they had to go another 30 days consistently before their brains reprogrammed. The whole point of this lesson is that that consistent effort, consistent daily effort makes a radical difference in your life. And so when it comes to reprogramming, rewiring your brain for success, that daily, as Emile Coué puts it, that daily tapping, the tapping of doing the affirmations, doing the visualization, the things that we're talking about here. So remember that consistency is key, just like with anything in life, just like exercising, just like eating healthy and working out, all these different things we talk about. So visualization and imagination are very, very powerful because, like I said yesterday, your mind cannot tell the difference between something that is real and something that you vividly imagine. It can't tell the difference. And so when you vividly imagine something, your brain, to your brain, it's just as real as something that is really in your existence, in your physical existence. And that's one of the reasons why imagination and visualization are such powerful tools. I love, and again, the purpose of this is to shift your belief, because like Claude M. Bristol talks about in his book, The Magic of Believing, that is really the key to attracting and manifesting and creating what you want, is to believe. Once, for decades, he studied this stuff. He called it mind stuff, is what he called it back then. This is like 100 years ago or close to 100 years ago. But basically, that's what he called it, mind stuff. And he studied this mind stuff for decades. And he said, out of everything that he discovered through his own experience and interviewing and case studies and research, all this stuff, just studying this, inside and out, he found the one key was belief. That was the key. You can set all the goals you want, but if you don't believe you're going to achieve those goals, it's going to be very difficult to achieve those goals. Again, I don't believe it's impossible, but just much more difficult. And so belief is really the key, like he talks about. And so when you start out with this process of goal setting and you're setting these big, massive goals, if you don't believe it's possible, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Most people start out there. Most people that set goals don't believe it's possible or have a hard time believing that it's possible. That is perfectly fine. The reason for these tools like visualization, imagination, is to raise your level of belief, to reprogram your mind and help you get to that place where you actually do believe that it's possible. Not only that it's possible, but that it's already a done deal, that you already have it, even though it hasn't showed up in your physical world yet. I mean, think about it. There wouldn't be much of a reason for affirmations or visualization or any of these things if you already had the belief that you had these things, right? Why would be the purpose of those exercises for those tools? And so that's really what these tools are for, is to reprogram this and raise your belief and get you to that point where you already believe you have it. And that's when the magic happens. So another part of visualization, like we talked about yesterday, visualization, or if you like to use the term imagination, using your imagination, is just simply a matter of sitting quietly or standing quietly, either one, but usually sitting quietly, closing your eyes, and just thinking about and imagining what it is you want in all different aspects. So when it comes to money, when you're sitting down imagining having all this money, one of the best things you can do is imagine all the things that you would do with that money to make it even more powerful and more effective. Imagine what are all the things that you would do with that money. Imagine people coming up to you and saying, congratulations on winning this money, or congratulations on earning $100,000 last month, or whatever it is, right? Or imagine the bank teller. You go to the bank and you deposit a large check. Imagine the bank teller congratulating you on, your large check. So Neville Goddard talks about this, and he talks about, one of the most powerful things you can do with your imagination is imagine somebody congratulating you, or, something along those lines, or recognizing you for what it is you have or received, like money, for example. So the bank teller or a friend or family member or spouse, you can have a spouse, your spouse coming up to you and saying, honey, great job on earning, $100,000 this month, or something of that nature. Okay. Things like that. But then also, to make it powerful, you can imagine all the different things that you would do with that money. So imagine having all this money, and imagine, going to buy that new car. Imagine helping a friend out. Imagine taking your family on a luxurious vacation for 2 weeks. Imagine paying off your home, or imagine doing something that you love to do. So just don't just imagine the money. I mean, it's great to just imagine the money, but if you really want to take it to another level and make it even more powerful and bring on the feelings, because that's really the most powerful part of it, is when you do your imagination, you want to create the feelings as if you already have that money. Not that you're going to have it, but the feelings of already having it. What would you feel like? How would it feel if you already had the money? What would you be doing if you already had the money? So imagine all those things that you would be doing. And that's one of the best ways and most powerful ways to create the feelings of having that money. And ideally, do this morning and night. It's an incredible way to start your day and start yourself off on a successful note. And at the end of the day, it's a fantastic way to end your day. So start your day and end your day doing your visualization and using your imagination to imagine these things. Okay? Another powerful aspect of this is vision boards. You've all heard about vision boards, and you can see a ton of videos on YouTube and TikTok about, vision boards. Vision boards are very, very powerful. Rhonda Byrne, in her book, How the Secret Changed My Life, that's probably one of the most powerful or most common tools that you hear people talk about in there is vision boards. So a vision board is very simple. You just take a poster board or a foam board and you just put all these pictures on there and these phrases and keywords of all the things you want to be, do, and have. And there's really no right or wrong answer. There's people out there that try to tell you to make it a certain size and do it a certain way. I don't agree with that. I just don't think that that's necessary. I think that's overcomplicating and overthinking the process. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Your vision board, the most important thing is just like with your visualization. When you look at your vision board, you should get excited. You should have the feelings of having what it is you already want, or what it is you want, as if you already have it. So when you look at your vision board, it should create those feelings of excitement and joy and so forth. Okay. And your vision board, again, is something that you can change, you can modify. It doesn't have to be set in stone. Okay. So a vision board is very powerful. And you hear people talk about this a lot of times. And a lot of people, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people who put something on their vision board, and within a few weeks or a couple months, it shows up just like magic. Okay. And you want to put your vision board somewhere you're going to see it often. Okay. What's the best place where you're going to see it the most often? Is it the bathroom? Is it in your bedroom, on your bedroom wall, in your office, on that wall? And again, you may even want multiple vision boards. Take 2 or 3 vision boards and make them all the same, and put one in your bedroom, one at your office. And hey, that's even better. And it's easier now than it ever has been, because, before the internet, to do this, you'd have to go get magazines and thumb through magazines and try to find pictures and then cut them out. And now you just go on Google, okay? Just Google images and type in whatever you want, and you've got endless images that you can choose from. Probably too many, right? The paradox of choice. But so it's easier than ever. Just go into Google, type in the images, find what you want, print it out, and boom. And the images don't have to be perfect. People get caught up in trying to find the perfect image. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as the image creates the feeling, that's all that matters. So, hey, if you can't find the exact, perfect car of what you want, that's okay. Just find one that's close to it. It doesn't have to be the same color. I mean, if you can find the same color, that's great, but it doesn't have to even be the same color. So just find images that represent what you want. That's really what it is, that represent what you want and create the feelings of having it. And that's all that matters. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the perfect color or perfect anything. Okay. Print them out, cut them out, paste them on tape them on your vision board, and voila, you've got it. Okay. Another thing you can do along with vision boards is you can, once you have your vision board, is you can take a picture of it with your phone, and now you've got it on your phone, and you can obviously sync that up with your laptop, your tablet, your computer. So now, not only do you have your vision board on your wall, but you've got it on all your devices. So, if you're in your car and you're sitting in traffic, rather than playing games on your phone or on social media, why not pull out your vision board on your phone and look at your vision board, or on your tablet or your laptop? If you're somewhere like at the airport, or you're somewhere where you're sitting and have nothing to do, like you're at maybe at the car dealership waiting for your car to get serviced, or you're at the car wash waiting for your car to get detailed, any place where you're, even at the grocery store, if you're waiting in line, any place where you maybe have a few minutes of downtime, you're waiting on somebody, you're waiting on something, okay? Rather than getting on games or social media, pull out your phone and look at your vision board for just a minute or two. Do that as often as you can. It's much better than wasting time on, on games, social media, or other things of that nature. Okay, so that's a really powerful. Steve Harvey talks about this. In fact, Steve Harvey, he has his vision board as his background on his phone. So every time, and that's a great idea. So every time he looks at his phone wakes up, he sees his vision board first thing. That's a fantastic idea. Because if you think of how many times people look at their vision boards or look at their phone throughout the day, it's like, I think the average is like 80 times a day. People look at their phones, last I heard anyway. So 80 times a day, if you have your vision board on your as your background on your phone, 80 times a day, you pull it up, your phone wakes up, and the first thing you see is your vision board. How cool is that? So that's a great idea for you. I love that from Steve Harvey. And then you can also take these images and put them into a slideshow, like on PowerPoint presentation or a keynote presentation or Google Slides, any of those work. And you can have some fun with it and create like a slideshow and then add some music to it. Okay. They actually call this, they call it a mind movie. And there's a lady who came up with that several years ago. I'm trying to remember her name. But anyway, she's actually got a website called mindmovies.com. You can actually go to her website. She has like these, you can actually upload images and it creates a mind movie for you. So you can actually go check that out, mindmovies.com. I think it's Natalie Ledwell is her name, Natalie Ledwell, mindmovies.com. But you can create your own mind movie too. Just take all these images off Google, put them onto a PowerPoint, Keynote, or Google Slides presentation. And then if you want to add music, you can, but you don't have to. And then put it on your computer. Like I've got a laptop in front of me. So I've got my desktop, but then below my desktop, I've got my laptop in front of me, and it's got a slideshow going on all day long. I've got these images of everything I want to be, do, and have that are in front of me right below my desktop while I'm working. Okay, so very simple to do. So mind movies is another powerful thing. This stuff works. These tools are very, very powerful. You just got to use them. You just have to use them. And again, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. But have fun with it. Have fun with it. Visualization and vision boards are two of the most powerful tools. And again, this doesn't have to be anything fancy. I remember a story that Zig Ziglar talked about in one of his books. A gentleman wanted a Porsche, and he found one in a magazine. This is like decades ago, because Zig Ziglar told this story a long time ago. So it's probably, his story is probably 30, 40, 50 years old. Anyway, he wanted a Porsche, found one in the magazine, cut it out, put it on his fridge. So every day, because that's a great place, right? Because how often do you go to your fridge? I mean, put these images and these vision boards in all these different places. Put them throughout your house. Put them all over the place. Who cares? But anyway, he put it on his fridge, because you go to your fridge all the time. Every time he went to his fridge, he saw this picture of this Porsche, silver Porsche. We finally, after a few months, had enough money to go buy his Porsche. And he called all the local dealerships. Nobody had the Porsche that he wanted. So he kept expanding his search further and further out. He finally found one a few hundred miles away, a dealership that had a Porsche, the exact one he wanted. And they said, there's just one thing. They said, it does have a few more miles, and it's brand new, but it does have a few extra miles. And he said, well, why is that? They said, well, this Porsche we actually used for a photo shoot a while back. And so we drove it to the photo shoot and back. Come to find out, it was the exact Porsche that he saw in the magazine, that he cut out of the magazine, the exact Porsche. If you want to understand how powerful imagination and visualization is, that story right there should tell you. He manifested the exact Porsche that they used in the photo shoot that he had cut out of the magazine. Pretty cool. Rhonda Byrne talks about a gentleman who also wanted a Porsche. What he did is he took a Porsche emblem and cut it out and taped it to the horn on his steering wheel. He drove a Nissan. She talks about this in How the Secret Changed My Life. And anyway, so every time he got in his car, because again, your car, how often you're in your car, another great place to have images or a small vision board in your car, right? Every time he got in his car and he traveled a lot, he'd see that Porsche sticker. He finally found the Porsche he wanted. It was a used Porsche at a local dealership. Went in there. They were asking a little bit more than he could afford. They wouldn't come down on price. So he decided to think on it. Well, while he was thinking on it, somebody else came and bought the Porsche. Okay, well, he just went back to his imagination, his Porsche sticker on his steering wheel, and a few weeks later, that Porsche showed up at a different dealership. We'll come to find out the guy who originally bought the Porsche decided he didn't want it anymore. He couldn't afford the payments or something. And so he traded it in at another dealership for another car. And so at that new dealership, they actually had it at a lower price that he could afford. So he's able to buy the same exact Porsche that he saw the first time. But this time, it was at a price he could afford. Pretty cool story. And all he did was put a Porsche sticker on his steering wheel. Okay. And I love that story because this goes back to what I always talk about, where don't worry about the how. See, God knows what you want. The universe knows what you want. Okay. And God and the universe knows the best way for you to have what you want, for you to attract, manifest, and create what you want. See, when that Porsche showed up and he couldn't afford it, he didn't get all discouraged. He didn't get all worried about how it was going to happen. He just went back to his visualization. Isn't it amazing? The same exact Porsche showed up, and this time it was at a price that he could afford. Pretty cool, right? So don't worry about the how, right? Just focus on your visualization. Just focus on your vision boards. And those two stories right there show you that you don't have to have a real fancy vision board. So don't get caught up in trying to make it perfect and fancy. Okay. Again, a Porsche sticker, a Porsche picture on your fridge, that worked for those individuals. And the same thing will work for you. You could do something as simple as that, or you could do a fancy vision board. Either way, it all works. Again, as long as it gets you excited, as long as it creates the feelings inside of you of excitement and joy as if you already had it. That's the most important. Okay, so vision boards, mind movies, slideshows, putting these things, putting pictures on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, all these things, your computer, so that you have it with you wherever you go. So you can look at your vision board and these images of what you want to be, do, and have anytime, anywhere that you go. Okay, good stuff. Stuff works, right? If you haven't done this, start doing it right away. And don't worry about being perfect. Just get started. That's the most important thing. Just get started. Okay, this whole process, as you keep doing it, you'll get better at it. It's a skill, just like anything else. A lot of people get discouraged with visualization and imagination. It's a skill like anything else. Just keep doing it. You get better and better and better, and you'll feel better about it. But just get started, and you'll gradually progress and improve the process. Same thing with your vision boards. Don't try to make it perfect. Just do it. Just get started. Okay, and as time goes on, you can perfect it. You can take this image off and so on and so forth and put new images on there or change it up. That's fine. Your vision board doesn't have to be perfect. You can change it next week, next month, anytime you want. And as you attract, manifest, and create things, you take those images off, you put new images on there. Okay. All right, let's check our comments here real quick, and then we're going to finish up. Grace, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Grace. You are too kind. Thank you for your message. Josh. Josh, that's a great example, man. Good for you. Love that. That's a perfect example. I love it. All right, looks like that's all of our comments. Man, thank you guys so much. Very cool, Michelle. Awesome. Thank you for your message. There we go. Okay, I got the second half too. Oh, you guys are awesome, Ari and Michelle. Fantastic. I love the taking action. Keep up the great work, and thank you for your message. Renee, fantastic. Wow. I love that. You're going to have to share that. You're going to have to share the details on that. I look forward to hearing that. Terry. Yes, Terry. Man, you and me both, brother. Love Zig Ziglar. Thank you, man. Thank you for your message. Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. Appreciate that. I'm glad you loved it. So good to see you on here, Sherry. Thank you. Well, thank you for your messages. Thank you for taking time to join us today. Josh, you're very welcome, brother. That's right. Thoughts held in your mind reproduce after their kind. Exactly. All right. I don't know why I said that 3 times, but anyway, so thank you very much, Josh. Well, thank you for taking time to join us today. And like I always say, if you do the things today that most people won't, tomorrow you will have the life that most people can't. Go out there, make your best day ever, and we'll see you right back here, same time tomorrow. God bless. We'll see you then. Thanks, everybody.